And stop buying up all the fucking toilet paper.
I swear to God.
What is up, everybody? You have just tuned in to the Tether Radio podcast, the only podcast keeping you from spiraling out into the infinite abyss. I'm your host, Daniel, and I am joined, as always, by the lovely Miss Alli.
What is up?
Dude.
Actually, this week I am Meatbox 365.
Meatbox 365.
Okay, that's very much a guy sort of name, but it's still really funny.
That totally just made me think of, so I was re-listening to the last podcast on the left, Manson stuff, and he was quoted as saying, life isn't, it's like, life isn't always about a stiff dick in a hot box.
Are you sure? I feel like it depends on who you ask.
That's a very, very good point. But my God, if for any of the listeners out there that have not checked out the last podcast on the left, holy shit, it is held near and dear to our hearts. So
I made a new friend at the bar, like I do, and we hit it off talking about podcasts. And he has a podcast, but he's not published anything yet, and he's recorded a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, go live! I want to listen.
No shit, dude.
And like, he's got like good stuff. Hey, Larry, if you listen, what up?
Rock and roll, Larry. What up, dude?
But he was real cool, and he was like, have you ever listened to the last podcast on the left? I was like, oh, buddy, you are speaking my love language.
You're like, pull up a chair. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So how was your past week?
This was the longest damn week. Like,
it really was.
And it was so emotional, and that sounds so stupid. But like, I was all up in arms about Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then it went to shit. And like, this coronavirus stuff has got me all worked up.
Yeah.
I seriously, like, Tuesday, I was so anxious that morning, like, just about like how Super Tuesday would go, and I just had my hopes up so high and stuff. And then I was also listening to like some morning news stuff about the coronavirus, and I legit worked myself up into tears at my desk at work, and I was like, it is time to calm down.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, honestly, I really, if I had cable and like was watching like mainstream media stuff, you would think that no shit, the fucking zombie apocalypse was upon us.
Dude, I know.
And I mean, it is
and we
crazy.
Look at better news than the mainstream stuff, and it still feels like that in a lot of this stuff.
It's all just like, I swear to God, like, if you take the top 10 headlines, 5 or more are about coronavirus stuff and like updates and
I
stuff.
follow a bunch of podcasts that are like morning daily news and stuff like that, and so many of them are every day about coronavirus now, and I'm so over it. Like, yes, I want to hear some coverage, but not just that. Tell me other news too.
Well, and that's the kind of shit thing is, like, I feel like the world is a very big place. Yeah, there is other shit going on.
Well, we definitely have some of that to get into.
This time. Exactly. But we gotta talk about the coronavirus. We gotta talk about debunking some absolutely fucking bizarre myths out there about it. And there was a really solid take from a doctor that he writes on Medium a decent bit. Okay. And I
just resubscribed to Medium last night. I get so frustrated with the paywall. Yeah. I'm just like, fine, I will pay $5 a month.
That's not bad.
Nah, I'm like, it's worth it because there's a lot of good stuff on there.
There's a lot of
Medium's huge.
I didn't realize. Joseph introduced me to it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, man, and it's some good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so kind of starting off, we wanted to, of course, touch on coronavirus stuff.
But we swear we have other stuff, so please keep listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, we're not just going to regurgitate CNN's news to you. No. We swear.
Yeah, and believe it or not, we are not coming at you from the Bradley bunker.
Yet.
We are, we're not wearing face masks, and we're actually holding hands, so no. But no, so some huge news that came out that that was absolutely like Allie texted me about it, and no shit, I thought she was joking.
Yep.
I thought she was completely joking, and then I got up the next day and I was like, holy shit, you weren't joking at all. But for this week's Cancel Corner, South by Southwest, man. So South by Southwest 2020 has been canceled due to coronavirus.
Also, I really love that they were like, we are not canceling. We are having the thing. We are keeping it going. And then Friday they were like, okay, so listen.
So this was actually kind of interesting about it, though, is South by Southwest actually didn't cancel.
The mayor did, right?
Exactly, yeah. So Mayor Adler of Austin, Texas, basically put, to quote him, he said, "I've issued an order that effectively cancels South by Southwest." Yeah. And this is like,
was it just like non-essential travel canceled?
Yeah, basically, and it's basically gotten to the point to where I think everybody's just hesitant to like actually travel to areas, which I don't blame them.
I know,
I really don't blame them.
Like I'm in a ton of weird Facebook groups and some normal ones, and a book group that I'm in. This girl made a post like I don't know, a week ago. It was like, I'm going on a cruise. Do you guys have any suggestions for books? And I was like, don't go on a fucking cruise. What?
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, and that's like,
I mean, I'm flying to Florida in 3 weeks, so who am I to talk, I guess. But,
you better watch that flight.
I know.
The flight cancellations and
man.
stuff. So, you flying Allegiant?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
The big lots of the sky.
The big lots of the sky, nice. But yeah, so getting back to South by Southwest, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew that South by Southwest. I mean,
it's big. It's the thing for
the
like
thing
tech
for
stuff,
Austin.
right? Yeah.
And I mean, I think they've got like a lot of like music performances and stuff.
Yeah, it's a big. I think they've got music.
I'm thinking Austin City Limits.
Shit.
Never mind.
Don't they have music at South by Southwest?
I think they do, but I think it is more centered toward tech and all that stuff. But I think
music would also
Joseph's
get people out.
Been before, but no, I didn't realize.
Okay,
like,
Wiki says it's a film festival.
Well,
it's an annual conglomeration of parallel film, interactive media, and music festivals and conferences that take place in mid-March.
So it's a smorgasbord of entertainment.
It's basically all the media, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, like some of the people that were pulling out even before it got canceled. They were talking about how Amazon, Apple, and Netflix all said that they were no longer going to premiere new film and TV projects at it. And then you've got like Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Intel, CNN, Mashable. All these people were basically supposed to have on the ground presences, and they were saying, "Hey, this is non-essential travel. We don't want to put you guys at risk." But yeah, man, it was last year. South by Southwest made $356 million.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
It's insane. And that is over a 9-day period. That is just, I mean, it's going to fucking cripple Austin's economy for the time being.
Oh, yeah. Just think about, like, those restaurants, those hotels.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guarantee you, everybody hangs their hat on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it
like, that's probably, like, Christmas for retail.
Yeah. Literally. But yeah, so they've decided, Mayor Adler put that stuff in, effective immediately, and basically canceled it. So
I used to have a German boss who didn't. He spoke really pretty good English, but sometimes he would mess up like idioms.
Yeah.
So he would be like, "We have to put the foot down." So like, I keep being like, Mayor Adler has put the foot down.
Has put the foot down. That's awesome. But so that was kind of like the big news. And this is actually the first time in the 34-year history of this of the not festival, but gathering, conference, whatever.
It called itself a festival. I think festival's right.
Okay. But it's the first time in its 34-year history that it's been canceled.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty fucking crazy.
Shit's
to me
wild.
at least. But
I screenshotted a headline this morning that I saw. I think this is the first one that I've heard of this. Did I not screenshot it? You dumbass. I swear I did. No, maybe I saved it on my computer. But Bahrain they have a Formula 1 race coming up, and they're not allowing spectators at it. Yeah. Like, they're just going to have the race with no one there to see it.
Where is that? Excuse me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't it in the Middle East?
I'm not sure.
Well, please, let's go.
Yeah, man, but...
it's in the Persian Gulf.
Persian Gulf.
Right. That doesn't help me much. It's between Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. Whew.
So what I kind of wanted to do, which I think that I can do this, and actually, I don't know. I think that I'm certified to be able to really put the boots on the ground about coronavirus stuff.
Yeah.
I was talking to Megan about it. So I have a degree in pharmacy, a doctorate in pharmacy, and then my undergraduate degree was in microbiology.
Yeah.
So I actually took virology courses in undergraduate kind of thing.
Yeah.
And not that really fucking matters, but because I'm sure that CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, they will all drown me out completely. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of outline where we are currently with all this stuff, and kind of put it into a perspective of really... I think that there's a lot of misinformation floating around with statistics kind of being skewed to almost sensationalize all this stuff substantially more than it needs to be. And that was why I really enjoyed and appreciated this guy's take on Medium, Dr. David Katz. Mm-hmm. He was the director at Yale Prevention Research Center. And his take on this stuff was just super fucking just down to earth. Here's the numbers. Here's a really good example using round figures to easily explain. And that was kind of where I wanted to, well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk real numbers and then we'll use his example to kind of explain stuff.
Yeah.
But as of right now, as of March 5th, they actually had the World Health Organization Director General speak in regards to COVID-19 and kind of let everybody know where we are standing globally.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how as of March 19th, we've got right around 95,000 reported cases and 3,281 deaths.
Wait, so, as of March 19th?
No, as of March 5th.
Oh,
Did I say 19th?
I maybe heard you wrong. I was that can't be right.
Yeah, I probably was looking at COVID-19.
Okay.
So, yeah. But, no, we are not broadcasting from the future. So, but anyway, so, most of them obviously reported in China. The other, let's see, let me grab my notes real quick. Let's see, 2,055 cases reported in 33 countries other than China, with about 80% of those cases coming from just 3 countries, which basically it's South Korea, Iran, and Italy.
I saw something this morning that said there's been cases in 92 countries now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, and like I said, this is from 3 days ago or whatever. So
man, if it spread to that many more countries in that few of days, that's wild.
Well, so the other thing is all the like testing and gestation period and all that stuff.
The reporting too.
Yeah. Which totally gives me faith in regards to just like actual mortality rates and stuff like that, and infection rates.
Yeah.
Because what we're working on right now is reported cases. Mm-hmm. So they have talked about this this virus, and they being the scientific community. And the issue really is that we're working on reported cases numbers.
Yeah.
And some people are experiencing super, super mild symptoms.
Yeah.
And some people aren't even experiencing symptoms.
Yeah.
So those cases aren't going to be reported.
Right.
So what the reason that I wanted to bring that up is because basically that drives all the numbers down, believe it or not, in regards to, okay, 95,000 cases reported, but we're probably looking more, 110, 120, 150, which is just driving the infection rate down. It's driving all the statistics down.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because basically you're just, look at it as a fraction. If your denominator or lower number in the fraction is exponentially higher than you thought that it was.
Yeah. Then your number's lower.
The actual number is going to be lower.
Yeah.
So,
plus, there's all these people that are panicking that are like, oh, there's been this many cases and this many deaths, so that means it kills at this rate.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, a lot of those people were already sick, or they're somehow immunocompromised, or they're just in poor health, or they're old, or they're smokers, or there's so many factors. You can't just be like, this affected an average 26-year-old Olympic athlete and killed them. Like, no.
Well, and also a lot of the people that are younger that are contracting this are healthcare workers that are being exposed to like huge amounts.
Way more than you're going to be exposed to at Kroger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do is, because this guy just like straight up laid it out incredibly, in my opinion. And he used a hypothetical population of 2,000 people. So we're using an arbitrary number in order to explain this a little more easily. And so we'll say that 200 people out of that 2,000 got infected, and 8 out of that 2,000, or I'm sorry, 8 out of that 200 died.
Right.
Okay. So the infection rate here would be 200 divided by 2,000, or 10%, which is actually substantially higher than what we're currently seeing.
Yeah.
And then the fatality rate is going to be 8 out of 200, or 4%, which is about right for the mortality rate.
Yeah.
So what you actually have to do is you have to take the 200 divided by 2,000, which is your infection rate, and you have to multiply that by the fatality rate, which is 8 over 200. I know this is super dry.
It's a lot of math.
Yeah. But take it from me, it's 0.4%. Okay?
Yeah.
So now, this is saying that 0.4% of the population is going to, and this is having no underlying disease states and, making you a higher probability of contracting it or anything. So so 0.4% is basically the percentage that you are likely to not only contract the virus, but also die from it.
Right.
So, and like I said, we're using a substantially higher infection rate than what we're actually seeing.
And simplifying it a lot more.
Yes, correct. So that means that 99.6% of people are going to either contract it and recover from it, or just not have it ever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I think those are pretty fucking good odds, personally.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah. And the other issue that I've kind of had with the coverage, the mainstream coverage of all this stuff is these people that are dying. Yes, they are people, and the healthcare community really does a bad job of, or I guess too good of a job of almost dehumanizing the fact. I mean, these are lives that we're talking about. They have families, they have, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But these people that are dying are already at high risk.
Exactly.
For stuff. I mean, if you have other comorbidities and stuff, like whatever, diabetes, heart disease, whatever, some kind of respiratory issue, you're already a high risk person for literally anything, kind of thing, or any kind of like pneumonic, disease kind of thing. But anyway,
man,
so,
I actually
what's up?
Have some breaking scoop right here.
Really?
My friend in Chattanooga just texted me right now.
Yeah.
And he said, multiple credible sources have said that there's a quarantined individual in Chattanooga with coronavirus, and their city and their county are both denying it. And I'm like, send me stories. Like, what? I was like, what are your sources? And he said, I don't want to rat out who told him, but it's pretty reliable, and it's somebody pretty high up in healthcare. And now there's a bunch of Reddit posts that are confirming it too.
Jeez.
So, developing news, y'all.
Developing news, man. You heard it here first.
Crazy.
But yeah, so this is the thing. So I completely understand people wanting to take precautions and all that. Just think about what you're doing. Think about what, how do you normally treat flu season? And I'm not comparing coronavirus to flu because it's fucking apples to oranges.
But it is very similar. Like as far as like the way it's transmitted, like quit licking doorknobs.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it's just wash your hands.
Use a Clorox wipe on your phone every once in a while.
Yeah.
Wash your damn hands.
Yeah.
Quit touching your face, which is way easier said than done.
Yeah, and stop buying up all the fucking toilet paper.
I swear to God.
No, so I did want to. I had a little anecdote because I sometimes I will go to the grocery store and chat up the workers at Kroger.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this.
They're just fun to talk to.
Yeah.
But this older gentleman over there was just like fucking.
Did he give you the what for?
He was just it was hilarious. He was so pissed, and apparently nobody had asked him how his day was going.
Oh boy!
And I fell prey to that. But I was like, hey Larry, I don't even know what his name was, but and I was like, how's your day going? He was like. Man, he was like, I'm just sick of all these people complaining about how we don't have Purell wipes in the like dispensers out in where you pick up your card kind of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, well what's the issue kind of thing. I love to get other people to explain shit, and I kind of know what's
you play a little dumb to hear their side.
Yeah. But so he's like, well, basically what people have been doing is literally they'll buy their stuff, go out, and just pull out like 50, 75, 100 wipes out of those fucking dispensers, shove them in a grocery bag, and just fucking leave with them. And I was like,
okay,
are you kidding me?
Full disclosure, I do that with Starbucks napkins because they're very good napkins.
Well, but, I mean, dude, we all hoard napkins. It's like, dude, I'd say you could check anybody's glove compartment, and if they don't have a napkin in there, I would be very surprised. At least one.
But stealing those wipes,
yeah, man. And it's like, and he was talking about this stuff. There was some myth going around, which I actually fucking found an article about, like, debunking these myths. And he was talking about how people were thinking that as long as they keep their mouth moist, then that's helping to protect them from the coronavirus.
Okay, this is really weird because I just randomly thought of it one day this week because I'm a chapstick junkie. Mm-hmm. Like, specifically usually Burt's Bees, but just some sort of stick. Yeah. And I wondered if keeping your lips moisturized would help because you wouldn't be licking your lips because they're dry. Mm-hmm. And if you were licking your lips are more exposed than like the inside of your mouth, so you're getting germs that you may have just absorbed from the air. I kind of overthought this.
Well, so the thing with virus stuff in regards to that is basically you would be licking your lips and then it would go to your stomach. Right. Stomach acid's going to totally wipe out that shit. Okay. So normally it's going to be more your nose. Okay. That you can't lick your nose, can you? Because that's really weird.
No, I have a pretty short little tongue. Can't do it.
Dude, Joseph can almost pick his nose with his tongue.
That is extreme.
It is disgusting, but he can like legitimately do it. It's kind of impressive too. Shout out to Joseph and his tongue nose picking. But yeah, so he was talking about how normally they will go through. Sorry, getting back to Larry's anecdote. He was talking about how normally they will go through 2 pallets of water a week. He said currently they are going through anywhere between 10 and 12 pallets of water a week. I mean, it's just like because everybody's buying up like bottled water and stuff. Yeah. And I mean, like, you know, hell, we met up for drinks yesterday. Alli and I did, and with some other friends. And one of the guys was talking about how there's like this dude at his work that was talking about how he thinks that the grid's going to get shut down for like, whatever, 5 to 7 days kind of thing. And people aren't going to have water and electricity and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah, like why would you think that? Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Just take the precautions. Take the precautions that you would for any kind of like illness, or whatever, the flu season, and just do that. Don't be an idiot. Don't go to these areas, don't seek out the fucking coronavirus. And I promise you're probably going to be fine,
dude. So after I had been thinking about it all week and stuff, I here's my hot take that I told you I had.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get put into quarantine.
You think so?
I really do.
So, and you said we...
who do you... the country.
So, and what kind of quarantine?
I don't know, man. I don't know, because have we ever done that in the U.S.? I'm bad at history. I didn't learn shit for history.
Yeah, that's a really good... good point. I don't know.
I know, in Europe during, World War II, they had, mandatory, curfews and stuff. Yeah. But that was, under the Nazi regime, and thankfully we're not there quite yet. Yeah. But, but no, man, I don't know. I think statewide or countrywide, I think they're going to be, the way to get rid of this is everyone stay away from each other and stop spreading it. Yeah. Don't leave your house for how long? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? I don't know. Yeah. And, if the grid goes down, if everybody's supposed to not be going out, who's going to fix the grid? So if water goes out, you're fucked, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that if anything would happen...
I think it would be more voluntary.
Yeah.
I think it would be please don't leave your home if you can avoid it.
This. Yeah. Honestly, I would think that it would almost be obviously a step up from this, but I actually track I track pretty closely. Yeah, because Megan
you
and
would.
I know I'm such a fucking nerd. I have 5 different weather apps on my phone and shit, and I'm that person that as soon as I hear rain, I run outside to watch it start raining and shit. It's a real problem.
I do love weather. I get that. I get that.
But I would think that it would almost be when they will release air quality alerts that it's we've got higher ozone.
Yeah, limit your car trips.
Yeah, it's if people that suffer from respiratory diseases like asthma and stuff like that, and COPD, and maybe should try to stay inside kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I would think that it'd probably be something a little bit softer than if we see you on the streets, then...
I mean, it's obviously not going to be throw you in jail, but even if it was a fine, that seems weird.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I don't think that we have the police power to even enforce.
Plus, if everybody's supposed to be home, the police shouldn't be out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Oh God, you think it's gonna be? We're gonna turn into the Purge?
Maybe.
And it's just gonna be all out fucking warfare in the streets for the last roll of toilet paper or Healthy Request fucking soup.
Your damn soup.
I went to the grocery the same trip when I was talking to the guy at Kroger, and I swear to God, it looked like the apocalypse had happened in the fucking soup aisle.
Dude, because I think people really are storing stuff thinking we might have a quarantine or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I don't think it's likely.
I just don't know how enforceable it would be.
Yeah.
Plus, I've seen several places say, go ahead and get an extra month's supply of your prescription medications. Mm-hmm. Do you know how prescriptions work?
Yeah.
A lot of prescriptions legally won't let you have one ahead of time.
Yeah.
And, insurance won't fill it until it's ready. So, my anxiety meds out of pocket are, $900 for a month. And with insurance, they're, $15.
Yeah.
I don't understand that racket, but, I'm not paying $900 to have a spare month sitting around.
No. Well, I mean, that's just not realistic for the vast majority of people.
No. Also, thankfully, mine aren't, life or death stuff. I would just be a nervous fucking wreck without them. But
see, that was actually... so, if any of the listeners out there that do, post-apocalyptic, material. There's a book by the name of 1 Second After, and it is a phenomenal book.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember what. I can't remember if it was an illness or no. It was it was like an EMP kind of thing. Like somebody detonated a nuclear bomb in the like upper atmosphere, and it basically just caused a complete blackout on the United States or something along those lines.
I'm into it.
And the cool thing about this book was everybody immediately thinks water, food. Kind of thing, you know, and apparently fucking toilet paper.
Well, one of the podcasts that I listened to the other day that I got so worked up, they were talking about other stuff, like yes, obviously food and like water, but also like your basic medical supplies. Yes, toilet paper. Also like tampons and pads or whatever like that you need. Yeah. Anything like if you have pets, they need food.
Yeah, and just to debunk another myth.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to get the fucking coronavirus from your pet. So don't throw it out a window like all these lunatics in fucking China. But it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
that's awful.
But yeah, dude, like just some other stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit in regards to the coronavirus stuff and kind of debunking some absolute. So here's the keeping your mouth wet.
Yeah.
Everyone should. This is the claim, okay, that is being debunked. So everyone should ensure their mouth and throat is moist and never dry. Take sips of water every 15 minutes because even if the virus gets into your mouth by drinking water or liquids, it will wash the virus down through your esophagus and into your stomach, where your stomach acid will kill the virus. So, yes, your stomach acid probably will kill the virus, but you don't need to fucking, like, be sipping water every 15 minutes. And the dryness of your mouth is not going to have an effect on that shit.
What the fuck?
Garlic can help cure the new coronavirus.
I am set.
Yeah, I know, right? No, there's no evidence.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. They said, and this is literally from the World Health Organization, while garlic does have antimicrobial properties, World Health Organization said that there's no evidence that eating garlic will help with the virus. Surgical masks protect against the new coronavirus. This is false.
You're supposed to wear a mask if you're the sick one,
exactly,
right? Okay.
Yeah. So the whole idea behind the surgical mask stuff is basically, if you're hacking and coughing and you've got that on, then it's not going to make it past the mask normally.
Yeah.
You know. Now the main issue is the fact that you have to have a good mask that seals on your face. Yeah. So facial hair is going to be an issue.
I'm going to post that facial hair thing. I love that.
Yeah. We found this diagram. It was from one of these articles, and it has like all these different styles of facial hair, and holy shit, I did not realize that, like, all the different fucking names for, like, facial hairs. Or facial hair patterns and
like,
stuff.
there was one that was a Dolly, and I'm like, no one has had this other than Salvador Dali.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And
also
like,
the Hitler, but they called it the toothbrush. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Good luck with anyone sporting that.
Yeah. So there was another one. The new coronavirus can cause 50% fibrosis of the lungs. No, there's zero evidence that this coronavirus causes fibrosis of the lungs at all, much less 50%. And then somebody, the conspiracy theorists got all like drummed up, and they're like, Lysol knew, they've got it on the, all their packaging that it actually kills coronavirus.
Coronavirus is a thing that has been around.
It is a like family of viruses kind of thing. So this is a new coronavirus, but believe it or not, we already fucking know about multiple other coronaviruses.
Oh my god.
So even though, yes, this is a novel coronavirus, we have lots of information about
there have been multiple flus.
Do you guys remember MERS and SARS? Yeah, that wiped out the fucking planet, didn't it? No, it didn't. They're also coronaviruses.
Oh, a girl I know shared a thing on Facebook that was like, and she's not a conspiracy theorist, but oh man, it was funny. It was like, it was just written on a whiteboard, and I'm like, oh, that checks out. That sounds very factual. It was like, there's a new, like, big sickness every election year. And so it had, like, every year that was an even year. It was like, this one was SARS, and this one was swine flu, and every year it's just to get you distracted from the election. And I was like, shut the entire fuck up. What?
So, speaking of swine flu, one of my buddies, I was talking to him on the phone, and he travels to Mexico a decent bit. His family's from Mexico.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, we absolutely fucking loved when the swine flu was, like, going around. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, dude, traveling down to Mexico, we could stay in these super fucking nice resorts for, like, half off.
Because they needed any money?
Yeah, and he was like, dude, we went down to Mexico, and there's, like, nothing going on down there, like, swine flu-wise. But then you look at the fucking media, and you think that the world's ending, you know?
Yeah.
So, and this was actually kind of interesting, this next false claim about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So, symptoms of the new coronavirus include vomiting blood.
That's good and healthy and normal.
Somebody posted something on Facebook with a caption about this guy in China that was, like, literally vomiting blood, and it is legit, but this dude's battling liver cancer.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the coronavirus. No. And then another thing, which this is why I was asking about TikTok. A lot of people are basically not allowing employees and stuff to get on TikTok because there's this massive spread of misinformation about coronavirus stuff. Yeah. But they said that there was a video on TikTok that there was this guy in a lab coat. Anybody in a lab coat automatically knows what they're talking about. Said no one ever. And he's, like, talking about how, like, oh, look at this vial of blood from a healthy person, and it's, like, red.
Oh, my God.
And then he's like, this was taken from patient 0, and it's, like, purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Love to have purple blood.
Coronavirus does not change the fucking color of your blood.
Oh, my God.
So... Anyway, if you've heard these, and, like, this is one of these things that you might have been able to hear me rolling my eyes through the fucking microphone.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I don't want to take up the whole fucking episode.
No, we got other stuff to get to, man.
So let's hit it and get it.
I have got some weird shit because our friend Mary, the meteorologist, has started sending me stuff she finds, and she finds insane stuff. Like, I was like, is the Daily Mail a parody site? Because all these are wild.
Yeah.
Like,
I started looking through headlines or whatever that you had posted in the spreadsheet, and I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
Like, I put a note on our spreadsheet. I was like, it is a weird news week. I'm sorry. Okay, so here is one. An Oklahoma man who kidnapped his stepdaughter when she was 12 and took her to Mexico, where he fathered 9 children with her before she was able to escape, has been sentenced to life in federal prison.
What?
In
the fuck?
So, his name is Henry Piet. He was sentenced to life on Thursday for charges of kidnapping and also a further 360 months and 30 days for traveling with the intent to engage in sexual acts with a juvenile. That's such a specific charge. That's really so weird.
Wait, you said that this was, he was related to the...
Stepdad.
Oh, stepdad. Okay,
so sorry. Thankfully not blood related, but
incest is illegal, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. Okay, completely.
Honestly,
absolutely, yes.
After Game of Thrones, I feel like the line's been muddied.
Nikki and I were just talking about Cruel Intentions the other day.
Nice.
God. So in 1997, Rosalind McGinnis's mother broke up with Piet because he had been beating her. So to retaliate, he picked up Rosalind, who was 12, from school and went on the run. He took her to Mexico, where she said he forced her to marry him. His son, like, officiated their wedding.
What?
And I was under the impression the son was a child at the time, too. The pair had 9 children and lived together in a filthy tent, undetected by U.S. authorities for years. So in 2016, basically a couple in a grocery store figured out something was up and helped her to escape with 8 of the 9 kids. which is great.
Yeah.
He was convicted of kidnapping.
Man?
He denies any wrongdoing. This is a quote. "I never raped any children. I made love to my wife. We were married." Buddy. Like, she got pregnant the first time at 15. That's, you can't consent at...
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Well, they were in Mexico. I don't know what Mexico's consent laws are, but like...
That's a good point.
But, dude, no.
I mean...
And there's a scan of the missing poster for her. Mm-hmm. And it reminds me so much of how I looked when I was 12. Like, and I didn't even look 12.
Yeah.
And she said when she was introduced to his kids at the time, he said, "This is your new mother." Jesus. Imagine a 12-year-old who looks 10 at best.
Ugh.
This is your new mother?
That is just fucking foul, dude.
Yeah. That's a lot to unpack.
I need to take a drink of coffee real quick. Jesus.
Oh, and this one's a little fun. Well, it's dark, but it's also fun. I read a lot of crime shit. Yeah. That's my jam.
Yeah.
And this is a totally new defense for me. After his conviction for brutally murdering a 12-year-old girl, Thomas Sanders, age 61, has asked the Louisiana appellate to appellate?
Appellate?
Appellate. I always fuck up that word.
I think it's appellate.
You know, they do the appeals. Whatever.
Yes.
The panel to reverse his death sentence for several reasons, including... Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess the reason I'm about to say?
Go. Hit me.
He was descended from extraterrestrials. I mean...
This is an unprecedented case.
Your murder laws do not apply to me.
Yes, seriously. Oh my god, dude.
So, his attorney told a panel of 3 Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals judges that he was clearly not mentally competent to stand trial when he was convicted and sentenced to death. He killed his girlfriend's daughter. She noticed his history of brain injuries, mental illness, and delusions. Okay, like, those are valid.
Yeah.
Like, I can see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
The judges questioned whether he displayed any signs during his trial of any mental problems that showed him incompetent, noting there was no formal motion for a declaration of incompetency by his trial attorney. So you wait till you get sentenced to death, and then you're like, oops, by the way, I'm nuts. What?
That seems convenient.
Right? So...
E.T. was my uncle.
They said the U.S. Justice Department attorney Vijay Shankar told the appellate? How am I still fucking this up? Appellate.
I think it's appellate.
I'm never going to get that right. Told the panel that if the defense had concerns about his competency, they would have addressed them much earlier.
Yeah.
So, and just to recap what he did.
I think that just sounds like a piss poor lawyer, to be honest.
Ooh, here's a Hail Mary. Sir, the game ended yesterday.
Yeah.
So, prosecutors said that he shot Sue Ellen Roberts with a .22 caliber rifle on a Labor Day trip to the Arizona Wildlife Park in Arizona. Then he drove her daughter to Louisiana, where he shot her 4 times. And when he saw she was still alive, he took a knife and slit her throat.
Dude, that guy's a fucking monster.
Well, he can't help it. He's an alien.
That's a good point.
But, like...
Is he gray? What the fuck is he?
So it's a weird news week, man.
Dude.
And all we're hearing is coronavirus stuff.
I know, seriously.
So we don't hear this.
We don't hear about extraterrestrials that are frequenting our planet.
What else do I have?
Jeez,
Dude. Ooh, one more.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's we got another face eater in Florida.
Oh,
you remember the bath salts?
Oh yeah.
I looked that up just to be sure. That was Miami, and it was 2012.
Oh wow.
It doesn't feel that long ago.
No.
Yeah. So this kid is 23, and he's accused of randomly killing a Florida couple and chewing the face of the dying husband. And court documents say that he was legally insane at the time of the attack. So the randomly part is what really freaks me out.
Yeah.
He didn't even know them, and like he wasn't in any way provoked, like not like just random is really the right word for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, was he taking?
Well.
Okay.
So,
I was like,
he was 19 at the time, and the prosecution psychiatrist says that, yeah, he was legally insane.
Yeah.
The findings show that Austin Haroof believed God and demons were talking to him, and he had increasing paranoia and other hallucinations in the days leading up to the killings. Like, I have said before, I'm not a drug user. I don't care if other people do most drugs, like, stay away from opioids and stuff, but, like, whatever, do your own thing.
Yeah.
But be careful and consider your mental health and how you react to things.
Well, so, and that's actually a really good point, because hallucinogenics, which actually weed would fall under that.
Yeah.
But really, it's mainly more like LSD, mushrooms, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They actually have like shown that people with underlying diseases, it basically brings it to the surface, kind of thing, and it can cause psychosis. and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean,
and like
be
it's
cognizant
just like,
of that.
if you're a sad drunk, quit getting drunk.
Yeah.
And if you have really fucking bad trips on mushrooms, Stop taking mushrooms.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, yeah, anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk about that. But on the evening of the killings, his mother found him at home drinking cooking oil mixed with Parmesan cheese. Just having a normal one. The victim's family alleges that the concoction was spiked with hallucinogenic mushrooms. And they also noted that he is currently being treated for schizophrenia in jail.
I mean, that's totally sounds...
If you have schizophrenia, please do not take hallucinogens.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
Because, no, honestly, that totally sounds like a paranoid schizophrenic kind of...
Yeah,
like,
it really does.
Probably thought those people were, like...
Yeah.
Whatever, spying on him
well,
something,
they've got some quotes from him, too. And also, like... We'll have the links to these, like we always do in the newsletter and stuff, but there's some photos that I consider kind of gruesome in the article, so just as a verbal warning, and I'll put a warning on the link in the newsletter too. Yeah. They're not really grisly, but, like, they're a little bloody, and it just feels really unnecessary.
Yeah.
But he had a history of drug and alcohol abuse, including cocaine, methamphetamine, and other stimulants and hallucinogens like mushrooms.
Yeah.
But blood tests only found marijuana in his system in the hours after the killings.
Dude, I'm telling... Well...
But yeah, like...
I wonder how long that other stuff hangs around in your system.
I don't know.
Because I know weed, like, hangs around significantly longer than... basically anything else.
But mushrooms,
But I don't know.
Surely I don't know. But, so he said it felt like he had Jesus' special abilities while he had been working at his job as a dental assistant, and that he blessed the dental instruments by pouring water on them. That sounds like that's his normal everyday type mental situation.
Jeez, dude.
He also told the psychiatrist that he recalls having a machete in his hand and stabbing a woman, and he said it was like she was covered in darkness. He recalled seeing a man who was glowing white, and he began stabbing and biting him. He remembers drinking a liquid, calling out to God to save him, and feeling like he was a dog before blacking out.
Was this dude medicated? Like, so he had a diagnosis and he was just like...
I don't know. I don't know if they knew he was schizophrenic before all this, or if they figured that out now and put him on medication in jail. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, and he was hospitalized for nearly 2 months, recovering from injuries caused by drinking a caustic liquid found in the couple's garage.
I mean, damn, dude.
And the case goes to trial in May.
Yeah.
Like,
so, real quick anecdote. So, when I was in pharmacy school, during the last, like, year and a half, you do rotations at different facilities and stuff. And, and I had basically a concentration in mental health.
Yeah.
And so 3 of my rotations were in mental health facilities, kind of stuff. And when I was in the Middle Tennessee Mental Health Institute, it was some of the most eye-opening stuff. Yeah. It was like absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Because we got to sit in with they basically do interviews, like weekly interviews with patients, so that they can like measure a patient's insight into their own mental mental disease or anything like that. And dude, it was scary to be sitting there, and like it would be like me and you having a conversation, and I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this dude seems completely normal, like why I don't understand. And then
he starts saying she was covered in darkness or whatever.
He was talking about how what was it, that the Navy was like beaming in messages to him or whatever, and it's like, and he starts going off on this tangent. I'm like, okay. And I mean, like, he's saying it like this is truly you know, what he believes and
like
stuff.
Just telling you what he ate for breakfast.
And it was just, it's really fascinating. And I mean, I don't have to tell everyone that there is a complete and utter problem with under and undiagnosed mental illnesses in the United States.
Oh yeah,
I mean it is rampant.
Yeah,
and I really think that a lot of this stuff stems from that. You know, a lot of these, like, you know, you've got people that whatever, they're like bipolar or something. I'm not saying that, you know, everybody that has a mental illness, you know, is going to go out and stab somebody.
No,
that's not it. You know, it's a spectrum of, you know, of health.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like, man, if you do, you know, have like dark thoughts, suicidal thoughts, and like, you know, whatever, seek help. Yeah. Please seek help, because I promise there is light to be had, and I swear you will be a much happier person when you're not having to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and like, if you think somebody is glowing white and you need to stab them, like, that's not reality, and you need to,
and maybe ask somebody else.
Get some help.
Hey,
is that guy glowing white?
Hey, is that guy glowing white? Oh, he's not.
I don't need to murder him.
Yeah. It's just, man, it's sad. It's sad because a lot of it is, I think that a lot of it is really a lack of availability. Or a lack of, you know, people not being able to either afford medications or stuff like that, which, God, that's a whole nother fucking soapbox.
Oh, Lord.
Our pharmaceutical industry is fucking out of control.
Healthcare in general,
honestly. But, anywho, do you have anything?
No, that was the end of that guy. Okay. Why don't you tell us something that's not a crazy murder story?
So, hey, how about well, okay, so I've got two things. So Allie sent me this one, and I started reading it, and I was like, this is really fucking fascinating. And it's from Fast Company. The race is on to replace the hypodermic needle. This was really fucking cool stuff.
Yeah.
Are you afraid to get shots?
I was terrified when I was little, and I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I mean, like, we had to, in pharmacy school, we actually had to, give ourselves saline shots so that we knew how to, like, administer, like, insulin and stuff like that.
Cool. Okay.
And, like, man, it's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
Yeah.
So real quick tangent, holy shit. So we had to do flu clinics when I was in school, and I actually did one over at the Bush's Baked Beans company, which, my God, everybody at that fucking place were the nicest people ever. It was insane. But anyway, so they basically have like a 2-day thing that, like, they'll cycle employees and their families through, and we just have like a quick, you know, whatever, sit down, get a shot, and you know, dip. And I had to give a shit ton of shots to kids.
Yeah.
And dude, well, so the issue is not the children. The issue was they don't have that much like muscle mass in their arms. So like if you stick it in, you can hit bone. And like it doesn't hurt to the patient.
Yeah.
but the person administering the shot knows when they fucking hit bone. Oh. And like, dude, I can't tell you how many times. That makes
me nauseous just to think about. Oh my God.
Right? But I can't tell you how many times like I'd put the needle in or whatever, and it would just abruptly stop. And I'm just like, all right, pull it out a little bit and administer the.
Don't mind me just throwing up in this bucket.
Yeah, but it was just like, dude, it was some wild shit.
Wow.
But anyway, according to this article, a quarter of adults and half of children fear shots, and as many as 8% of people report avoiding vaccines to sidestep the pain.
Yep.
Which is pretty. I didn't realize like that it was that high. That almost 10%. I mean, like,
oh yeah, people are weird about
That's pretty intense. But so basically, what has happened is there is development for what's known as microneedles, and this there was new research that came out at Rutgers University, and they've literally dubbed it microneedles because it's microscopic needles.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty on the nose name. But like, holy shit, they're comparing it almost to like a bee stinger.
They said that was when I just skimmed it before I sent it to you, they said that was kind of the inspiration was like nature.
Which I fucking love.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, because like the there's this drug that's used a lot in hospitals called heparin, and it's a blood thinner or an anticoagulant.
Yeah,
and that was actually developed from the Gila monster's saliva.
Gila monsters are so cool.
And dude, look them up. It's really fucking cool because when they bite their prey, their saliva gets in there and it keeps the blood flowing, kind of thing, so that their prey will like bleed out. Kind of thing. And so they took that.
That's metal
saliva,
as hell,
right? And so they took the like sample of their saliva and were actually able to develop a drug that we use in hospitals.
That's so
like,
cool.
All the fucking time.
Yeah,
It's so, dude. Med tech is like,
oh, I love it.
It is totally the bee's knees, man. But anyway, so yeah, they compared it to the stinger of a honeybee, or the hooking appendages of a parasite. Which I swear, if you look at this microneedle, which obviously this stuff will go out in the newsletter, sign up for it. tetherradio.substack.com.
Yes.
And Alli is absolutely kicking ass on the fucking newsletter, so I got to give credit where it's due, man. But anyway, this photo of it looks like it would be like.
It looks like it would fucking hurt.
Yeah, a fucking torture device.
Like a bee stinger.
Mm-hmm. Stinger.
Yeah. Is like it's barbed like that so it goes in and stays.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
And that was kind of like one of the things that I was I was like, well,
yeah,
it seems like I mean the whole idea behind hypodermic needles is you want them obviously really smooth and really sharp, so it goes in and comes out like as painlessly as possible. But like, and apparently this is under the threshold for like causing as much pain as like a hypodermic needle.
Okay.
Which is counterintuitive to
Plus,
me. Looking
also,
at it,
it's going to be smaller than a bee stinger.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, this is so. This is the other thing that I wanted to kind of cover about this. The needles were produced through a process the researchers are calling quote 4D printing. Basically, they're 3D printed with polymers, and the core structure is programmable material that reshapes itself like a piece of self-folding origami.
That is so cool.
After the printing process is over.
That's so cool.
I was just like, dude, it is. This shit is science fiction.
I love it.
Literally,
it's so neat.
But yeah, so they're basically saying that these microneedles can stay fixed within one's skin 18 times better than any previously researched microneedle. So I don't have a base number there. Obviously, that 18 times. If 0 is the previous number, that don't matter a whole lot.
But of course, like that's going to be a lot better for, say, like an IV or something like that, where you need it to stay in for an amount of time.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying is basically this stuff will be able to almost be like a small patch, so that it can administer a drug over a period of time, kind of thing. So, or allow for, almost like a whatever, to take blood or anything like that, because obviously these little needles are hollow. So
yeah.
Something else that was kind of cool in this article was some of the other tech that they're looking into for delivering medicine more efficiently. But they were talking about this thing. Let's see, where was it? Basically, what they do is they have this like small needle or patch that they stick you with, and then immediately pull it off, and then put a cover over it. So that it creates an easier path to like have transdermal medications administered, kind of thing. Yeah. So you get a better yield out of like a med. And then and then it got super fucking like futuristic in this article, and they were talking about how another system uses magnesium to actively burst microneedle, quote, payloads into your skin, powered by hydrogen bubbles.
Whoa.
I was like, whoa, man, pump the brakes on that one, Bill.
That's a
lot. But no, honestly, for any of the needle phobes out there, man, you might actually have some tech in the pipeline coming your way that will make you a little bit less hesitant to go get that flu shot or whatever,
coronavirus
shot, or whatever we're dealing with in the foreseeable future. So, but yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool little development kind of thing. So, you got anything else that's
this isn't really any way to make a tangent off of that, but I have this thing I found this week also from Fast Company. It was a look at what Instagram would be like if they gave it an eco-friendly makeover. Okay. Which wasn't even supposed to be clickbait, but to me was clickbait, because I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So,
how do you make an app like
Well,
eco-friendly?
there's a lot of data in this. It was a really cool, pretty good article. They break down how much energy we use just forever scrolling on our phones. Yeah. Because all that data is loading and that uses energy. So, like, I never thought about that.
Oh, okay.
You think about, like, your lights using energy, but you don't think about scrolling forever using energy.
That's a good point.
And this is their
infinite scroll.
Oh, man. They're looking at, they like, broke down, like, how much data, like, they compared it to, like, using a car.
Oh,
like,
wow,
I mean, it was
really?
a lot. Because when you think about it, I mean, sometimes you're on your phone all day. Yeah. Yeah. This is really interesting. I'm not going to get in all the numbers with that, but they do a good job with it. But with a user interface change, Instagram could use less energy. Instead of loading all those photos, there would just be, like, a gray box with a really short description of the photo, and you'd click if you wanted to see it. Like, you tap it to load it. Which I feel like defeats the whole purpose of Instagram.
Yeah, well,
like, I scroll through it for pictures.
Yeah, it's especially just the fact that, like, I feel like that's counterintuitive, or not counterintuitive, but counterproductive for, like, these app developers, that it's like user engagement. That infinite scroll, man, it is like an addiction, tool kind of thing.
And it also really cracked me up, because I mostly just use Instagram for my book account now.
Yeah.
So, like, the example they used was, this picture would say, a cup of coffee and a croissant on a wooden table. And if you wanted to see it, you'd tap it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every picture that I would see would just be like, a book with an aesthetic background, or a stack of books with blue spines. Like, that would be so obnoxious.
I mean, honestly,
another book and a damn plant.
You're probably just literally going to be tapping everything,
right?
And then it's just like, now you're just like using more energy.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. It was interesting.
But that's kind of. I think it's really interesting that people are looking into, like, different ways that to cut down on energy use that you wouldn't think of.
I never thought about how much energy my phone uses, because boy, am I on my phone a lot.
Dude, I know. Like, honestly, it's I feel like when my previous phone was dying, like literally every 3 hours or something, I'm like, all right, I need to go like manage my battery better.
Yeah.
And I look at it and it's just like Reddit 30%.
Yeah.
Feedly like 30%.
Yeah.
And then the rest of my shit is like 1%.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at fucking headlines and shit. So, but.
Oh, and then on a little book segment here. I'm betting you didn't hear about this, and this is the thing that I went to CNN to see whether they were covering, and then I saw that bullshit they had the other day, and I was like, why do I ever check here? But this is really interesting. This Thursday, March the 4th, employees at Little Brown and Company, which is an imprint of the Hatchet Book Company, a Hatchet Book Group, they staged a walkout to make a statement of protest about Hatchet's announcement that they're publishing Woody Allen's memoir.
Okay.
So, because everyone's not a book nerd, an imprint, my understanding is an imprint is like a sub-brand off of a main publishing company.
Yeah.
So, say you've got like a huge publishing company.
Like Penguin, and then you've got like a subsidiary.
Then you might have like, Penguin might have one that mostly publishes young adult stuff, or mostly publishes horror stuff, or maybe not necessarily a genre, but sort of a feeling.
Yeah.
So the memoir was published by another imprint of Hatchet, or purchased by them a year ago, but then there wasn't really any news about it. This week they came out and said they're releasing the book in April. Okay. And Little Brown and Company published Ronan Farrow's book Catch and Kill. So he's Woody Allen's son. His book and his journalistic efforts in the Me Too movement led to public identification of the known piece of shit Harvey Weinstein. And now the same company is also going to produce Woody Allen's memoir, who is also a known piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, he has a lot of controversy around him involving, like, alleged sexual abuse. He also, including his own blood daughter.
Yeah, I remember that one. And that was pretty fucked.
And one thing that is, like, an actual fact.
Have you seen much of Woody Allen stuff?
I'm not a movie person. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Because I looked up, I can't remember exactly what it was called. I think it was called, like, what you want to know about sex, but you didn't know enough to ask, or it was something like that.
Okay.
And it's basically a collection of like skits and stuff that he did.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was that funny.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I don't know if it's just
that you already know that he sucks.
I already know he's a piece of shit
kind
of thing. But I like. Now, take this with a grain of salt. I feel like I'm halfway decent about separating an artist from
we
their
just talked
work.
about that last week, I think.
Yeah. But still, it's like...
But if I go in already knowing the artist sucks, I might not be as good at it.
Yeah, totally.
Whereas if I already liked the thing and then it came out the artist sucked,
very good point.
But I didn't realize this. He married his ex-partner Mia Farrow's adopted daughter.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yep.
Even if it's legal, it's gross.
Yep.
So Ronan Farrow spoke out this week against Hatchet's decision to publish Woody Allen's book. Then Little Brown staged a walkout, and it worked.
Oh,
it
really?
Worked. The
Rock
walkout
and
was
roll,
Thursday, and Friday Hatchet announced they're dropping their plans to publish the book, and they're returning all the rights to the author. You love to see it.
Oh my god, dude. The backlash is real, y'all.
Stephen King came out and said something on Twitter, and he was like, this just worries me because, like, who else will be silenced? And I'm like, okay, but have you tried not being a piece of shit? Like, sure, you have freedom of speech, but publish it your damn self if no one wants it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, dude, see, this is what people fail to understand. You have freedom of speech. What you don't have freedom from is the repercussions of that speech.
Well, that, and you've got to remember, these platforms that you're wanting to be on, they have every right not to let you be there. Like,
totally.
If they, like,
it is their company.
That's freedom of
decide.
speech from government punishment.
Yeah.
Not from, like, if you want to talk shit, go ahead, but I'm not going to have you on my podcast to talk your bullshit. Or if I ran Twitter, or, you know, like, I don't know, man.
Totally.
Yeah.
But, which honestly, and bringing up Twitter, I'm really interested to see if, hardcore side note.
Sure.
I'm really interested to see if Facebook and Twitter aren't going to start seeing legislation that it's like, oh, this is a public forum. You guys cannot. And I know, if you didn't hear that sigh.
Pretty good sigh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But no. But I really, I think that they're getting to the point to where, I mean, like, dude, a lot of people get their fucking information from either Twitter or Facebook kind of thing. And I mean, like, only Twitter or Facebook kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm really, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what the future holds for those two specifically.
Yeah.
Because they have so much reach. And it's like, I mean, it really is becoming, if not already, a public forum.
Well,
kind of thing.
And social media evolves so quickly that our laws can't keep up with that shit.
At all.
So by the time we can make a law about something, that thing has changed anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really weird.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah,
that's man, good on them, man. Because I don't know, I don't have a dog in that hunt, but I really couldn't care less about.
I just I like seeing someone take a stand for something that matters, and then there being a result from that. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I completely agree.
Like, there's plenty of controversial books out there, and like I don't think you should like ban books, but also like, as a publishing company, you can tell someone to fuck off if their stuff is bad.
Yeah.
Or they are a bad person.
It's a private company, man. That's
it's a real bad luck to, like, you just published Ronan Farrow's hugely popular and influential book, and now you're basically gonna publish the opposite of it.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's good that they listened.
Yeah.
You know, they took it into consideration.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Rock and roll, man. Rock and roll.
It's neat because I heard about that from a book group I'm in. Someone brought it up like early in the week way before the walkout had happened.
Yeah.
And they were like, I'm going to email Hatchet and, you know, just say my stance on it. And they're like, if you want to use my email as a template, here's what I'm sending them. And a bunch of us were like, yeah, I'm going to email them. And I was going to email him Friday, and by the time I was getting around to it, so I just marked it off my to-do list.
Nice.
I was like, well, that already got taken care of.
Stand up for publishing, yes.
I didn't expect it to happen that quick.
Yeah.
So that was a good surprise.
That's awesome. Okay, well, so I probably should have talked about this after our other, I had a little bit of a segue into this one from the microneedle stuff.
Yeah.
Because this man might have pulled this off using microneedles, and his attacker.
Oh,
yes, exactly. The attacker might have gone unnoticed.
I will say, last podcast covered this on Side Stories this week, but it was a fun case.
Oh, rock and roll.
It was fun.
So,
I mean, it's bad, but it's also interesting.
Yeah, and plus, I love how this was written. Oh, like, it's pretty fucking great.
Oh, good. I've not seen. Yeah, okay, good.
Global News out of Canada had this article, and we pulled it for the show. Semen-filled syringes recovered after grocery store stabbing attack.
Ugh.
So
that sounds like they stabbed the store.
I know, right? Plus, Well, at first I was like, so he used a knife and then he just had a bunch of jizz in his car? Like, what's going on? Anyway, so Maryland police have a man in custody and syringes full of semen in evidence after a bizarre attack at a grocery store last month when the suspect allegedly injected something into an unsuspecting woman's buttocks.
Ouch.
Yes. And so this dude, and like I said, all this stuff is going to be posted in the newsletter, and we will have it in show notes linked. This guy just looks like bizarre. First of all, he just looks like he's been rode hard and put up wet.
I love that phrase. I just used it last night.
Yeah, and so without further ado, Thomas Brian Stemmen, 51, is facing charges of first-degree assault, second-degree assault, and reckless endangerment in connection with a February 18th incident, according to the Anne Arundel.
Yeah.
Okay. County Police Department. So This guy, he was arrested because they pulled footage of him basically walking up behind this woman. He was like, walks up behind her as she's returning her cart, and you see her like kind of jump. Like, he gets like really close to her or whatever, and like she kind of jumps, and then he like says something to her, and I was just like,
I want to know what he said.
This is the weird thing. So he does this, and then he goes, let's see, what did he say? Oh, you can see her jump, and then she said that something was said to her, and they're like, well, what did he say? Oh, God. He turned to me and said, I know it feels like a bee sting, doesn't it? And that's it. That's all he fucking said. He just...
Okay, look, I have many questions.
Yeah.
What was his purpose here? Does he think that's how you get pregnant?
I'm not sure.
Why is he... How did he get the semen into the needle?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions here that definitely will go unanswered.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
And from a legal standpoint, I'm surprised there's not like a specific, like... Biowarfare implies like probably your government is involved, but like some kind of like biohazard level of something.
Yeah, I would think. Well, I mean, dude, it's a fucking hypodermic needle.
Yeah.
Like, I would think that they're. I don't know. I hope that she gets like.
Also, I'm surprised that there wasn't. Yeah, I know the last podcast coverage. They said she had got tested.
She had.
Stuff. Yeah, and she was on. There's I forget what the term is for them, but there's meds you can take if you're like assaulted or raped, where it like helps you to be less likely to contract HIV.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I know they had her on that and stuff too. But wait, also I'm surprised that there was no sexual assault type charge because semen was involved.
Yeah, which. So I guess I think that there wouldn't be, just because there was.
It's just a bodily fluid at that point.
It's more assault, not sexual assault, because like he's not like groping or whatever unwanted sexual contact kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unwanted contact for damn sure. But so the lady said that, and I was trying to find. Peters is her last name, but what the hell was her first name? I don't know. I can't find it real quick. But anyway, Miss Peters, she said that she felt discomfort shortly after the incident and found a puncture wound on her behind. She was quoted as saying, "I started driving home and it started hurting really bad. I called my son, and I told him something's not right. I hope nothing happens. I hope I make it home to you. I love you." So I can understand being like, I mean, dude, if you realize that you've been stabbed with a fucking syringe and you have no fucking clue as to what was in that syringe, I can only imagine how terrifying that would be.
Plus, of course, it's going to hurt because your body is like, what the fuck did... Just from like a physiological standpoint, your body is going to be like, reject this. What is this?
Do you remember? I think you had joined the podcast when we covered the guy that was giving himself injections of semen.
I don't think so.
Oh my! This dude like ends up with this like insane infection because he's been like, and this is over the course of like a month or like months.
What does he think is...
I can't remember exactly what his...
I'm sure it was something like it would make me more manly or
something.
More fertile.
Yeah, dude, it was so bizarre. But anyway, so getting back to the story, so they get this guy and they find in his car he has more syringes and they're filled with semen. And
has he got anybody else yet?
So they didn't say nothing was mentioned about him like attacking anybody else or whatever. But this was kind of a funny little like mention that they were like, oh, they haven't indicated whether or not the syringes were filled with his semen.
Oh no,
they're not sure whose semen was actually in the syringes. So And so at the time of this article was written, but I mean, that's a pretty easy fucking test.
Do they necessarily even know it's human semen?
That's a good point.
Maybe it's bull semen or something, you know? Like,
I don't know.
Ugh.
But that is, man. If you think
weird
that,
news week.
It has been a very
weird
fucking bizarre news week.
Bet you guys wish we were just talking politics.
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez, man. But yeah, so if you're thinking about stabbing someone with a semen-filled syringe, don't.
Also, probably back to what we were saying before, get some mental health.
Get some help, please.
Like, yeah.
Like that is not the way to go about picking a mate or or attempting to impregnate.
Or even that's not how any of this works.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That ain't how it works, so. But anyway.
I've got one last thing.
Yeah,
talking about mating.
Let's do it.
So I found this article on Refinery 29 in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
It's about daygaming.
Okay.
It feels very much like pickup artist bullshit.
Oh,
which
really?
Fascinates me. I hate it so much, but when I start reading it, I cannot stop. Like,
Yeah.
Have you ever read pickup artist shit? Do you know the concept of it?
Is that
it's very skeezy.
Oh yeah, didn't some dude write like The Art of the Game or something?
Yeah,
like
there's
that?
been a few things like that.
Okay,
yeah. So this is
I'm familiar with it, but
this is very much in that vein.
Yeah.
Day Game's founders it's day game like it sounds like daytime, and you're making a board game out of it.
Yeah.
But not board game.
Gotcha.
Day Game's founders describe it as the art of meeting and attracting amazing women without going to nightclubs. And on related blogs, as well as the dedicated Day Game website, men are seeking advice about how to approach women. So far, it sounds not too bad, but you're wrong.
I feel like you just walked me into a trap.
It's so gross. And it's gross from the standpoint that these men don't think they're being gross, which just makes them grosser.
Jeez, dude.
So the website says pretty much the reason that women watch romantic comedies and read like rom-com books is because that plays into the fantasy of how they'll meet the guy of their dreams.
I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Think that's it. I watch those things because they're lighthearted and I need to sometimes take a break from damn murder stories.
Yeah, plus it's like, I feel like the vast majority of the time, like, it just makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's just,
it's not like you're
pleasant.
Looking for...
Yeah, but it's also like...
You're not taking notes
on
it.
I'm not hoping that this book will happen to me.
Yeah,
like, I'm already married and good God, I don't want to ever date again.
God, I know.
So, especially reading this shit.
Jesus.
So,
Jesus.
They have coaches who charge upwards of £950 for a boot camp session. And they claim to have the secrets needed for how to discover how to meet, approach, and attract beautiful women anywhere, anytime. So, like, is it really romance if it's a fucking pickup artist?
Yeah, see, and that's something else that it's like, that stuff really fascinates me, because I feel like it almost is skinned as like a pickup artist thing, but it's really just kind of showing you how to be a normal fucking person.
Okay.
Or some of it,
in theory.
Sorry. Yeah.
In theory.
That it's like, here's how to talk to...
Which, that would be great and wholesome, and I would love for that to be a thing.
Yeah.
This is very not that. Like... This
is making me think of like, well... kind of the movie Hitch or whatever.
They mentioned Hitch in this article. Yeah, that's really funny.
I mean, like, I thought it was a pretty fun movie to be honest. But yeah.
So there's one coach named James Tusk who has his own like sub Project Tusk or whatever the fuck he is too. Yeah. He just said it's a way of teaching men to be more confident and being able to speak to women without relying on alcohol or going to clubs or using online dating apps. It's a more honest way of meeting women, and it's spontaneous. Is it honest or spontaneous?
Yeah, no, not at all.
So,
it doesn't seem like.
And if you are still on the fence about whether it's gross, come to my side of the fence. On Twitter, a quick search of the term day game, by the way, enjoy yourself when you search day game, no space, on Twitter.
Yeah.
You're welcome. It brings up a whole bunch of explicit messages from those partaking in the game. Countless blogs, YouTube videos, and Reddit threads exist on the topic. They basically get together and discuss their lays and how they've increased their number of sexual partners using tips and tricks from one another. There was one tweet, and I'm so mad that I didn't screenshot this. I should have. I didn't realize they had embedded the tweet, and now the guys made it private, so I can't see it.
Yeah.
But it showed this guy, like, posted his stats, and it just read like fucking baseball instead of human interaction. One tweet, it was coded well enough that you could understand what it meant. He had listed how many people how many women he approached, how many were, like, responsive to his approach, how many phone numbers he got, how many of those led to dates, and how many dates led to sex. And then he did the math of how many approaches led all the way to sex. I love gamifying stuff. Yeah. I can't use the word gross enough about this. No,
that is like honestly, I think I vomited a little bit in my throat.
Like, that's psychopathy.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. And that is also calculated, not spontaneous. Literally calculated in the most literal sense.
Absolutely calculated. Publicly on your fucking Twitter, you idiot.
My God! So I did just search day game.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I'd stumbled. I don't know if this is actually referring to what you were talking about.
Probably.
But literally, somebody just tweeted, "On my way to do some day game. Mm-hmm. Goal is 5 sets minimum." Mm-hmm. I don't even know what that means, but I don't think I'd want to know what
they
that
make
means.
so many.
It just sounds disgusting.
They make it sound like sports.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
Ugh.
And so, while saying hello to someone you like the look of isn't necessarily crossing any boundaries, the power dynamics of the situation deserve scrutiny. So basically they're saying, like, there were women that they interviewed that would, like, I would rather be approached at a bar because I likely have friends around. The bar has people in it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just come up to me literally on, like, a sidewalk, there might not be anyone around. I might not have an easy out.
Yeah.
You know? And they said you're stuck in this conversation that they've pitched in such a clever way that they're not being sleazy by their standards because they're just chatting with you. But it's really manipulative because they make you feel like you're not a nice person if you dismiss them.
So, I mean, it's completely manipulative.
Yeah,
like,
and the equivalent
it's
is
like a mind game.
Like you walk up to a woman on, the street and you say, "Hi, I think you're beautiful." Okay, and I'm not looking for that. Go away.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to get to the market.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's really, that's bizarre.
So they make it all out to be like they're just being a good person and they're just out here to talk to nice ladies. I'm like, you're not.
But I feel like, man, especially in this day and age kind of thing, like, I understand complimenting somebody kind of thing, but like,
I love to compliment people,
but I still think it's real. Like you said, okay, for instance, if you're having an interaction with somebody like a cashier or something like that, and they're like, "Man, I really like your hair," or whatever, I just want you to know that you're really pretty, or something like that. Yeah. Okay, I get that, but like, literally, like, someone just, like you said, stopping and being like,
it's creepy.
"Hey,
yeah,
hi, hey, beautiful."
Yeah, it's basically catcalling.
Yeah,
and
which is not cool.
And one woman, and this is a quote that I was already thinking. If I found out later that my partner had only approached me as some sort of dating practice or using a strategy, it would seem sinister and manipulative.
Yeah,
absolutely, it would.
Totally.
Also, what are you hoping for? Are you just trying to fuck some bitches?
Yeah.
Because, like, why are you so against Tinder if that's your end game?
Honestly, it's almost like literally like a complete, like, almost double standard, or something. I don't know if that would be the correct thing. But it's
and a lot of the tweets and the blogs and stuff are just very much about physical stuff. Like, one was like, I didn't quote it, but it was in this article. It was something like, I met a girl named Natalie, and she's like 5'7" and very slender, but she had a dodgy looking mole near her nose. I wasn't a fan. And I'm like, so you're not judging dogs at the dog show.
Yeah. Ugh. So I did find another tweet real quick.
There's a bunch, dude.
It's definitely not a shortcut to pussy. When I first got started, I had adrenaline rushing so much I was gasping. With experience, I learned don't mind being approached if you do it right. As someone said, it takes years of dedicated effort to get really good at this.
That's why are you doing this for years?
Well, not only that, but it's like...
Are you just trying to get laid, or are you trying to meet,
that's what it seems like. Is like
someone to have a relationship with?
Yeah, no. I mean, dude, I'm sorry, but if you're the first sentence of your tweet is it's definitely not a shortcut to pussy... I'm sorry, but you're
looking for shortcuts to pussy.
Yeah, thank you. You're looking for that pussy highway, man.
God.
I think that's the most times that I've said pussy like ever. So, but anyway, yeah, this seems like skis fest.
Oh man. Like, I sometimes end up on like message boards of pickup artists and stuff. And I'm just raging the whole time I'm there. I'm like, why am I reading this? But I can't stop.
So this made me think of this, and I can't remember what the game was called. But have you ever seen like the FMV? Like they were really full motion video, by the way.
Okay.
FMV. But they got really popular in the 90s for computer games that they would have like clips of like full motion video stuff, and then you'd like click on different parts of the screen or something, and like to walk around or whatever.
Okay.
And there was actually one that this company, there were a bunch of gaming journalists.
Yeah.
And it's called Giant Bomb.
Okay.
And I'll watch some of their videos occasionally.
Yeah.
They have like a best of, and they'll go back and play like these old school like computer games, and there was totally a fucking pickup artist game.
Gross.
And it's like, oh, you approach these two women on the street. What do you say? And it's like, dude, some of the fucking lines on it were absolutely incredible.
Evening, ladies, them titties looking perky. Like, what?
Yeah. And then it would, like, the people would, like, obviously react different to each thing. And it's like, he's just like, hey, beautiful, you know, blah, 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 you know, that's a really pretty dress.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you choose the right answer, then, like, they basically, like, go with you and just, like, walk off screen kind of thing. And I'm like, dude, this is so fucking far from reality. Like, just attempt to be confident. Confidence is so attractive.
Oh, and they try to sell this as, like, we're just, you know, teaching men to be confident. And I'm like, okay, find a different way.
Yeah.
This is not it.
Well, it's just, I mean, I think almost when you skin it like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I get teach someone how to be like teach someone how to feel comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because with that comes all the other shit.
Yeah.
Like unconsciously,
like
kind of,
trying,
or subconsciously.
Trying to be confident, or even to get more comfortable talking to women, or, you know, just to be better at approaching people. Okay, those are things that you can learn, and that's good.
Yeah.
This is not the way to do it.
No.
And also doing it because you want to meet more people and make friends and form relationships is a different thing. Or even if you are just after sex, fine.
Yeah.
But just be yourself. Don't do this, like, don't have this formula to try to win.
Yeah. And exactly.
Like,
as soon as you start literally treating it like whatever, a calculated thing, I'm going to fucking guarantee you're gonna lose.
I know, and like I like gamifying a lot of stuff. I think it's good for a lot of like us idiot millennials, where like, oh yeah, I can gamify, you know, how many books I read, or how many songs I add to my Spotify playlist, or whatever. Like, but like, don't gamify people. Yeah, like that's dude. It's really it's really weird how all of that has shifted in the past probably decade, something like that, 2 decades. That it's everything has gotten so digitized. I guess that it's like, this is actually a decent segue into something that I picked up the other day, and I actually forgot to add it, but I found it. So I pulled this one from Engadget, and this kind of harkens back to just people
being as a whole, I think, more introverted, in addition to the fact that obviously we've got this coronavirus stuff going.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that this is going to blow up for the sole reason of that.
Also, I think the whole concept of being introverted versus extroverted it's really complicated because it's a spectrum. You're not one or the other.
Yeah.
And there's also this I don't like being around people, but I love being on social media.
Yeah.
Which am I? So I think that's complicated.
Oh, no, I completely agree.
Whereas, in the 60s, if you were introverted, you stayed home.
Yeah.
And now, are you? What if you're an Instagram influencer, but you never...
I'm a digital extrovert.
Okay, I totally interrupted you. Sorry. Go ahead.
But anyway, so I pulled this one from Engadget. Postmates and Instacart introduce no-contact deliveries.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot about it, and literally by not a whole lot, there are 2 paragraphs. So there's not a whole lot to really talk about it. But I thought this was kind of fascinating that, because I know people that are almost anxious getting food delivered or something that, and that it's I
hate answering the door when the pizza gets there.
Really?
I won't do it.
Really?
I make Jesse do it.
Yeah.
Why?
Honestly,
I don't care.
Megan doesn't like doing
it's so weird.
Yeah.
And I'm so if you hand me a microphone, I'm okay, I'll talk about whatever.
Yeah.
In a crowded room or whatever, but I don't want to answer the pizza guy?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I got nothing. But yeah, so the company added drop off let's see. So first it was Uber's quiet cars, and now the socially avoidant can get their Postmates without actually seeing anyone. So Postmates has added this drop-off options to their delivery service. And basically you can choose if it's meet me at the curbside, front door, or no contact, where they basically just ring your doorbell and leave it on your doorstep kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's cool, but I also, it's kind of, I don't know. I love little interactions and stuff.
I do too.
I think it's healthy for society. I feel like if we... Yeah.
If I go to Target or Kroger...
Sorry, I'm stumbling.
If I go to Target or Kroger and I, run in for one thing and leave, it's different. But, if I go to Target and I'm in there for an hour and then I do self-checkout, I'm, walking out and I'm I didn't interact with anyone.
Yeah.
In this busy store.
Yeah.
And I was in here for an hour.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It really is. It really is.
I do go out of my way, just to make a little bit of small talk with my cashier or with whatever. And, because so many people are just dicks to them.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm bored and you're... Nice. I am too. I am bored and you're ringing up my stuff, so I might as well not stand here in silence,
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't know, they're people and... Yeah, well, they're bored.
And that's what's really fascinating to me is that, and I'm sure that we've probably talked about this to a degree, but just how not advent, but the progress or development of the internet has really dehumanized a lot of interactions.
Yeah,
and it's almost like it's kind of pouring over into actual person-to-person contact in regards to people just being completely dicks to other people, and it's hey, that's a person.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
They exist just as much as you do and have just as much of a right to fucking be in this store or whatever.
A big pet peeve of mine is when I answer the phone at work and someone just barks out John, please.
Yeah.
Hi. Sure. Yeah. Let me get him for you.
Yeah.
Can you use,
It's I'm not fucking Siri.
Just, right? Or at least just say, hey, can I speak to John, please?
Yeah. Dude, but, and manners just have, gone out the fucking window.
Also, I'm not just a switchboard. Yeah. Why do you want to talk to John?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I'm not just going to blindly transfer you to John.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I see people do that all the time that are I hate when a cashier is hi, how are you? And they're just I'll have the cheeseburger. You're you could have at least answered my very short question.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fucking common decency.
Yeah, just be decent.
Like, yeah. It's like, okay, if somebody asks you how your day's going, hey, how about you return the fucking question?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, just insane.
Yeah.
Basically, hashtag don't be a dick.
Just be decent.
Be decent. All right. Well, I'm looking at the time, and I'm out of stuff, and I'm looking at Allie, and she has closed her
My laptop
computer.
died. Leave me alone.
Rock and roll.
Apparently the battery was not all the way charged.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I have nothing else.
Yeah, I was pretty good.
We are going to sign off with our social jingle and dance and stuff. So, first of all, we would like to thank each and every one of you for listening to the Tether Radio podcast, episode 91. So yeah, if you want to hit us up, let us know what you liked about the episode, what you didn't like about the episode. Give us ideas for topics or whatever. If we mentioned something just in passing and you want to hear more about it, dude, shoot us an email.
Yeah.
Literally, it's that easy. You can reach us at tetherradio@gmail.com. That is tetherradio@gmail.com. We are on Twitter at tether_radio. We are also not going to South by Southwest. It has been canceled.
We have decided to stay home also because South by Southwest is fully canceled.
Exactly.
And we were not invited.
There you go. How am I supposed to get a refund for my booth?
Next year maybe.
Yeah, there you go. We're on Instagram at tether_radio. We are on Facebook, Tether Radio, all one word. And we are getting a booming group going at Tether Radio After Dark, our Facebook group. We're gonna start trying to post like multiple times a week and get some good conversations going because we want to talk to you guys. Like, geez, we get tired of just talking to each other. So, but anyway, so definitely also check out the newsletter. tetherradio.substack.com, or you can check on our Twitter account. We have a pinned tweet that links to the newsletter. Sign up for it. Allie kills it every fucking week, and it's really fun to go through.
Yeah,
so.
I have a good time with it.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of the articles, like, we skim them and we have our own opinions and stuff, but sometimes there's really cool pictures or just, like, more details and data and stuff in there. So, like, some of these articles end up being a deep dive on their own, and we just kind of skim them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And also, if you're in the Facebook group, I've been on this little kick. I came across these super fucking creepy photos with little backstories.
Yeah.
And even if they're fake, they're fun to read. I like to be scared.
Still cool.
So. But anyway, so we would like to thank you for listening to the Tether Radio podcast, episode 91. I'm Daniel.
I'm Allie.
And we are thanking you for lending us your ear for right around an hour and 45 minutes today. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Take it easy, friendos.
Bye.